Hello, hello. YouTube community. What is going on? I am here to talk a little bit about manifestation. And, I've really held off because this is something I'm really passionate about. I really held off from talking about certain topics. Been doing mainly on a lot of my topics have been on, you know, attachment styles, but this one here is something that, I use in my own personal life. And I feel as if it's something that is very, very vital in order for you to live a happy and fulfilled life, in order for you to attract the person into your life that will be your happily ever after and the person that's going to be, you're going to be with forever. You're going to be with forever. Sorry, I am kind of watching myself here. I got to really get down this system here. I can't chat on this one. So if you're coming into the room, let me know who you are. Thumbs up. We'll get to this conversation, this topic of today, which is manifestation. Um, so we got one left in here. I'm still waiting. Let me know when you're coming in. Thumbs up. Let me know who you are. Which one of my people are coming in from the community? Hey Wayne, what's up, man? I see you, and I also see you. I see you on there too. So that's good. All right. So the law of this has a lot to do with like a lot of the universal laws. But this one I'm going to be talking about, manifestation and how, the law of attraction is somehow attracting people into your life that are the society deem as toxic. And this may be people who they kind of like drama, they like arguing, um, they're not as committed or dedicated in the relationship as you are. People who you have a hard time gauging their level of commitment in a relationship. Um, People who always threaten to leave. And I had a counselor tell me once, they said, if you threaten to break up with somebody, you are severely increasing your chances of that person leaving you because you're letting them know that you're not totally in this relationship. You have one foot out of the door already. So it kind of makes them not get too comfortable either because they feel as if the relationship is very volatile and at any moment you can get up and just abandon them, which is why they say that you should never threaten a breakup, no matter what's going on, whatever issues you're having. Never threaten a breakup because it makes the other person feel as if you're not 100% committed. Uh, Anytime somebody threatens a breakup, though, it kind of makes you feel like, all right, you do all this stuff for me, but you're only 98% in this. Like you're not 100% in. So sorry, I'm reading this message here. I am an FA, mostly get attracted to DAs. Never works out. I usually take projects in the form of people. That's what I get attracted to. Yeah, so in the world of Tony Robbins, Tony Robbins may say that one of your six human needs is the need to be mm, substantial into somebody's life. No, significant. You have a need to feel significant. So if you take on these people who uh, don't know how to love 100% and they're not 100% dedicated to improving themselves or like going into personal development, you take on people who are projects like you just said. And it's probably because one of your human needs or your one of your major human needs is a need to feel significant. And if you can teach people something, if you can help them grow, if you can, take them on as a project, it makes you feel very significant in their life, which means you need to work on finding that significance in yourself. It doesn't have to be in the form of a romantic relationship. You can feel significant going and volunteering at a food pantry or, offering up information to other people on websites. You can even, take up significance here by commenting on the YouTube channel and talking to other people in the community. You can find significance there. You don't have to find it through a spouse, if that makes sense. You still here? So how can you know a lot about this right now? Okay, you were right. I initiated a breakup. I break up with the end because of his ice cold beer, but I was feeling horrible. I reached out after some time. Yeah, work on yourself and find significance. You got to find a way to fill those needs somewhere else. And that's, like I said, whether it's volunteering, I don't know where you're at as far as the country or if you're in the world. Um, find a way to fill that need to nurture and take care of people. And I can tell you that many women that I've come across that don't have kids in their life, if they don't have kids and they don't have pets, or they might have pet, but they end up taking on their spouse as their project and as somebody that they can kind of help improve, kind of help improve their life. It's that nurturing soul. As a women, you guys are you're born nurturers. And if you miss that boat of being a parent, um, you can fill me in if you feel like this is off base, let me know. When you miss that boat of being a parent, you kind of take on your spouses as the people that you nurture, and you put up with a lot of um, different behaviors, kind of like what a parent would put up with. You show them unconditional love, and you put up with certain things that you know people who weren't you, probably friends and family, are going to be telling you, that you putting up with a bunch of that. Like I never put up with that. You should leave and never talk to that person again, or cut them off or block their number or something. So um, I saw that this tended to be a pattern for women who didn't have kids, and um, people end up in like really toxic relationships. But here's the thing, going back to what I said before, these are people that you're manifesting into your life because as much as your conscious mind says that you never want this type of person again, you can't stand being with this type of person, your subconscious mind is programmed to think otherwise. It's going to bring into your world exactly what you want. No matter how much you try to trick your conscious mind into believing what you think you want. Your conscious mind is just a gatekeeper on what you want to allow into your life. The thoughts, your beliefs, the people. Your conscious mind is your filtration system. This is funny. I have enough things going on in life. I have a pet, a daughter, good career, hobbies. But in relationships, I am anxious towards me. Yeah, isn't that interesting? It almost repels you. If you meet somebody that's more anxious than you, it repels you and makes you go into it. That's the law of polarity there. You got the one end is the magnets, positive, negative. If you look at it as like anxious, dismissive, the instant one of them becomes more negative, it starts to push away. It's weird how that works, but that's good. You got a lot going on. So we can also go in the world of Tony Robbins too. Like you need to look at he calls it the wheel of life. So in the wheel of life, there's 8 different sections, and you have to make sure that those sections go through each week, each month, and look it up. Tony Robbins, the wheel of life. You want to go through and make sure that your will isn't off. So if you're putting a bunch of energy into your relationship, say you're putting like 60% energy into your relationship or 50% into your relationship, but you're putting 40% into your job and every other area is getting really small percentages. You want to go through and make sure that that line that will is um, getting as close to 100% as possible in each area. Because what happens is, and here's what happened with COVID, people started to their wheels got thrown out of alignment. They may have been working out, they may have been working, and then all of a sudden their wheel got kind of like womp, and it started to go more towards their relationship. Everybody started to put a lot more energy and a lot more time into their relationship, and then when they did that, they started to realize that that wasn't the relationship that they wanted. They didn't even like the person that they was living with, and they didn't like the person that they were with. So they got into panic mode and they got very hyper vigilant about trying to fix it right away because we want perfect things in our life. We don't want uh, broken relationships, and we don't want cars that only have three wheels, and you got to put fix and flat in one of the wheels in order to keep it rolling. You want things to be perfect, and the people who end up breaking down are the ones that want that perfection so much that it gives them anxiety and it drives them nuts because they can't. Yeah, so is it possible that two avoidance can work out? I've seen two avoidance in relationships a couple times, and what happened was the relationship never progressed towards uh, permanency. I mean, they may have even had kids together, but it never progressed towards, you know, like what's the word? Like a proposal. They may have lived together because it was the right thing to do, and it was like financially it was financially more smart to do it that way. I kind of joked and I said, two dismissals together are like one long tennis match. You'll one person to hit the ball over with love, and then the next one be like, and then they'll wait and they'll kind of hit it back a little bit later. So it's like one long tennis match that never really intensifies until that literally that intensifying state. So Mark Knapp's theory of relationship development, it never gets into that intensifying state. It just kind of stays in that like let's getting to know each other, kind of dating, and um, you know, I don't really want anything serious. Right, I'm thinking about moving in with you, but then I'm not. I'm thinking about getting married and want to have kids, but so it's like a lot of back and forth, and the other person is perfectly fine with it because if they weren't the one to initiate it, they're like, okay, well, I guess one day we'll get it done. Those are the people who end up, they may even be in a relationship for 10 years and never talk about, engagement or having kids or anything that's deeper. Hey, Paris, do DAs walk away after they find someone else? I think that's just a human behavior. Once you come across somebody that kind of does it for you and really captures your attention in that moment, um, anything is possible. I don't leave anything out of the realm of possibility. I feel like anything's possible. You know, this information kind of gives you a little bit of a cheat sheet and kind of tips the scales in your behavior in your direction as far as like knowing the information. But as far as like being 100% certain about what a person would do, nah, anything's possible. If I'm being honest. Um, do they walk away after they find someone else? Yeah, but you know what? They suffer so much from the phantom X. If you were somebody who was significant in their life, they will struggle with Phantom X phenomenon for a while in that relationship because they're going to be constantly comparing that person to you. Um, they'll be constantly trying to find the same fulfillment that they found with you, especially if you left a really good impression on them or you were somebody who they saw as somebody that was significant in their life. Who else in here? Wayne got Queens, got Paris. How do you say your name? Shazia? 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 Is that right? And where you from? India. Shazia, it's nice to meet you. Greetings. What time is it there in India? Writing that one down. India. Here in the States, it is nighttime. It is 7:50 at night. Well, it's nice to meet you, Aziz. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for following the channel and subscribing and being a contributor to my content. I appreciate it. You guys make me a better coach. Your input and your stories are what make me me. I'm just a combination of everybody that I've ever worked with, which is I'm up to a couple hundred now, and the divine sending all of his wisdom through me. And I appreciate you guys. Each and every story, each and every situation, each and every success story, I kind of like it hits here. So who else is in here? What you got going on? It depends. They could, so there's certain reasons why a person would say that they don't miss you. One, they could just generally don't miss you. But two, they may not want to give you hope. They may not want to uh, give you something to grasp onto because then they know that their defenses are down and they'll have to show up a whole different way. But right now they're just trying. If he's a dismissive, he's just trying not to show you um, any type of hope, any type of vulnerability. Working and listening. Cool, Paris. Can you please do a video on journey to become secure attachment or step to secure attachment? That is my course that I'm coming out with. Queen, I can't give that away. Like that's just too good of content. I'm literally working on that right now on helping people become more secure. And there are a bunch of different aspects that help people become more secure. You have to work on self-esteem. You have to work on your abandonment issues. You have to work on your fear of rejection. Um, it's a bunch of different things. Spirituality, like it all comes into play. Um, I'm trying. Thank you, Paris. Hitting the proverbial hay. What's up, Heart of Ice? What you got for me? So you got Shazia from India in here showing out, giving me some much needed feedback. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. So yeah. So this whole topic of today, I want to talk about just manifesting toxic people in your life. So you know how people say that, oh, I want this type of person, I want this and that. Literally, you can do that, but if you like, you got to have strong feelings behind it. If you have any doubt in your mind that this person is not going to manifest in your life, it won't happen. Even The Secret, if you saw The Secret, it says you have to ask the question, make like literally place your order, and you got to have strong feelings behind it. And the feelings that you have behind it is like knowing that this person is going to show up in your life eventually. You have to like be convicted. And the only way that you can have uh, things manifest into your life that you actually want is you have to have strong conviction behind it. Because when people, let's say, people say, you know, uh, New Year's are coming up. People make their New Year's resolution. Okay, this is one of the biggest ways you can tell. Like this is the best way I can put it into like layman terms, and you can like literally look at people around you and see that this happens. How many times have you seen people say, "I'm going to lose this amount of weight for the New Year's. I'm going to do this. I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to quit drinking. I'm going to do all of that." They say that with their conscious mind, but because their subconscious mind don't believe it, their subconscious don't believe it, and it doesn't have strong feeling or conviction behind it. They could just be talking out of, you know what? It doesn't manifest into their life, and they end up either quitting that gym membership by February 15th, like a month after they paid for it, or they end up, smoking and they say, "Oh yeah, I'm just gonna cut back. I'm not gonna really quit. I can't really quit." Saying you can't do anything is a limiting belief too. So um, they end up not doing it. They not end up, back the same person that they were before they even made that that declaration, if you will. It's because they didn't have strong feeling behind it. They may have felt in that moment like this is what they wanted, but they didn't have a strong enough desire to make it happen. Because you got to have feelings behind it, which is why when people pray, this is another way that people don't get things that they want in life. When they pray, they don't have actual feelings behind their prayers. They're not. They do it as routine, but they don't really have strong feelings and conviction to make it happen. So when people say, "Oh, I don't want another toxic person in my life," but they still keep those people on their friend list, and they still hang out in the same places that they found the other toxic people, they're going to continue to manifest those people into their life. It's a law. It's it's almost as certain as the law of gravity. What goes up must come down. And if you're manifesting toxic people in your life, there's something in your subconscious that needs to be uprooted in order to you have to become what you want in your life, which means everything that you're putting into your mental diet, into your diet period, the things that you watch, the people you talk to, the music you listen to, all of that is going to manifest what you want into your life. And literally, if you're sitting up and you're watching dramas all day long and keeping up with the Kardashians, those people are going to manifest into your life. It is a law. I can't I can't put it any other way. Um, and this isn't like something that's judgmental. This is actually what happens. Um, you get in, you get out whatever you put in. Okay, difference between a narcissist and a DA. Hmm. There's a major difference between a narcissist and a DA. Narcissists do not, and this is for a person that's a clinically diagnosed narcissist. They can't genuinely feel empathy. They can emulate feeling empathy. They can emulate um, something in order to manipulate you, a feeling in order to manipulate you and believe that they actually care for you and actually feel for you. But at the end of the day, it's all about keeping you as a supply and keeping you in their life in order to feed off of whatever energy you have. They're low vibrational. Like I talked about this before, they're low vibrational creatures and are beings. And high vibrational beings tend to attract narcissists because we have something in us, or high vibrational people have something in them that the narcissist envies and wants themselves. But as far as that and the dismissive avoidance, they do feel, and they do have a heart, and they just don't like being vulnerable, and they don't like having to lean on people. So it's actually the opposite with them. Like they don't need a person to feel alive and to feel um, as if they're worthy and fulfilled. Narcissists do. Like they don't. They have this big empty hole in them that they're constantly trying to fill with a bunch of different things: escapism, um, other relationships, um, casual hookups, drugs, alcohol, extreme sports, you name it. Like they need that in order to feel. But when they're alone and they have to listen to their own thoughts and be present with themselves, it's hard for them, and it makes them feel not even being alive. Like it really sucks because we all have a narcissistic tendencies in us, but a person who is cluster B personality, uh, diagnosed narcissist, uh, they operate differently. You know, they move very differently than a dismissive avoidant. Let's hope that helped you. This year, I've set a record in a politely dismissing toxic person from my life. I've noticed they don't expect brutal honesty because no one usually stands up to them. No. So you got to understand how toxic behaviors or cluster B personalities type people, how that was formed. It was formed from history. And usually it was something that went on that created the perfect storm for them to come out the way that they are. I'm getting text messages. I'm sorry. It's like, so I'm kind of reading them. My apologies. Hey, send a donation. I can do super chat now. If you could do super chat, somebody sent me something the other day. I just want to see if that works. Let's test it out. Make sure my super chat is working. I need to design. There's a bunch of different stuff I can do apparently. I just don't have the energy for it. And I'm trying to get these courses released so I can really bring you guys value. And if it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you can just go over that content and you don't actually have to have me there talking to you and coaching you through it. Kim, look at this. And it's green too. I love the color green. Thank you, Kim. What do DA get in a relationship if they can't keep a relationship? They have the need to be in a relationship. All right. We all need people. We need people. As human beings, we need. Trying to get rid of you. No, I'm kidding. No, it's been 26 minutes. We need people. We're social beings. This is what makes us different from uh, every other species. We have the need to be with each other and to be social. We need that social interaction, and we especially need that romantic interaction because it's a deep down desire for us. The thing with see, this is why I don't like when people demonize the dismissive avoidant because they do. Listen, everybody that I've ever coached, it's a reason why people want dismissive avoidance back when they leave them. It's because that they have showed you some nugget of potential, and they have showed you some part of their heart that you didn't think was there, and without a shadow of a doubt that that person is worthy of loving, and that person is worthy or is able to love you and be genuine and then be present and ignore their cell phones and are able to acknowledge your bids for connection. It's just that at some point something scares them away and something makes them feel as if they're being threatened, like they're it's almost like you step on this emotional landmine, this trauma landmine that kind of goes off in their head and it makes them want to pull away and protect themselves right away. The turtle in the shell analogy. There's something that you said or that you did subconsciously when it could be totally non-threatening, because as anxious people, we have the need to pull people closer to us when we're feeling stressed out. But for them, when they're feeling stressed out, they pull away. It's just like literally the yin and the yang, the dark and the light. Everything is and isn't at the same time. It's about finding that middle ground that both of you guys can meet each other at. And unfortunately, for the dismissive avoidant, they have to be on the path to like growth, the path to just like wanting more out of their relational life because they kind of like just stick their foot in the pool and dangle their feet in the pool, and they don't really like need to take a whole swim like other people do. Sorry, is it possible people become DA in later part of their life after a bad relationship? Absolutely. So, Queen, your relationship changes. All right, your attachment style change. Sorry, so I got another pop up. Sorry, your attachment style changes with experiences, with conditions. Um, it doesn't stay the same. Like it's just like your taste buds. Your taste buds die every 7 years, correct? The things that you've eaten 7 years ago, it may repulse you today. Like you wouldn't even want onions or something, whatever. No, no. As far as me, like I used to eat a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches when I was a kid. And when I was in college, now I can't stand them. Like I can't even think of the thought of peanut butter alone makes me kind of makes me gag a little bit. So um, It's the same with your attachment style, you know, and it's all like preservation, like the dismissive avoidance, self-preservation. It's trying to protect themselves from danger and from harm. As anxious, preoccupied people, though, the danger and the harm looks like a person pulling away from us emotionally. The danger and the harm for a dismissive avoidant looks like a person getting too close to them, taking up their physical and mental space, and requiring more from them than they're willing to give in that moment. That makes sense? Thank you, Kim. DA feels a breakup only after 6 to 8 weeks. It's been 10 weeks. I'm not playing games, but I'm curious. How likely is it to reach out after being broken off with? Okay, so I'm asking you this. Um, I really want you to check where that's coming from, where it is, why do you feel the need to reach out and try to, kind of reattract this person? And is it coming from a place of curiosity and pure love, or is it coming from a place of neediness and needing to just be validated? Um, 10 weeks is substantial. It's good enough, especially if things didn't end in a like ridiculous way. If it wasn't completely tumultuous, if it was kind of like an amicable breakup, if you didn't, curse them out, yeah, love, good. That's a good way. I would say break the ice. It's been 10 weeks. If you guys are still, friends on social media, if that person hasn't moved on yet, then I would say it's safe to reach out, and just inquire about their life. See how they are, how they're doing, how she's doing, him, whoever. Um, did the slow fade? I'm sorry. How long have you been broken up, Kim? 2 months. I mean, probably slow fade because there's a couple reasons why the person slow faded. You may have been really timid about trying to see them or initiating conversation with them, and you might have been fearful in your way of approaching them. Because I know a lot of content out there saying you got to be really careful and really delicate, but it is a point where they'll feel like, well, this person just isn't interested anymore, or that if they were the one initiating contact with you, after a while, they're going to start feeling rejected and feel like, this is dumb. I don't want to be vulnerable to this person anymore if they're not even interested, and they're just going to uh, kind of dismiss my feelings for them or my need to communicate and rebuild the relationship, because you have to kind of rebuild the friendship first before you can even discuss anything further. And people have a hard time doing that because they want the quick fix and they want to redefine the relationship right away again and get back in good standings. So Paris is in here. Paris is my homegirl. We've been around. She's been with me for a while now, and I truly do appreciate her being here with me and always supporting me. We've had some good chats. Um, yeah, if you're in here, we got 12 people in here. Why isn't 12 thumbs up, 12 likes, 12 shares? You know, all of that good stuff. I mean, come on, share the chat, share the wealth. I'm here to bring value into your life, and I do it in a lot of my free time because I don't have a lot of free time. I'm a half-time dad, so 50% of the week I have my kids, and I'm trying to like balance the business and be with them. And right now, I'm procrastinating. I should be working on this content right here, but this is what brings me life. I always hated like the business side of business, paperwork, all the bureaucracy, all that stuff. I just like just doing this, coaching, mentoring, being present with you guys and helping you guys have breakthroughs into your life. What's up, Shay? Good to see you. So what are you thinking, Ken? What are you thinking as far as like re-engaging this person and being able to kind of attract them back into your life? Are you even wanting to do that? Or are you going to let it just kind of die and learn as much as you can about dismissive avoidance or attachment style so your next relationship will be the ideal one and you can, oh good, you're gonna let it go. And that's just it. When I coach people, it's trying to get them clarity as quickly as possible because the most valuable thing you have in your life and an unrenewable resource in your life is time. You don't get it back. You get no instant rebates. You get no mail-in rebates on your time. You remember that movie? I think it was Out of Time. I think it was Justin Timberlake where he had to get the you get the tattoo on your arm about your time. Like literally, that's how life is, really. But isn't it funny how much time we waste? We waste on um, at jobs we don't want. We know isn't our purpose. Um, TikTok, Instagram, all we just burn so much time. And then I just saw the movie The Social Dilemma, and they talk about a lot about the time thing and how uh, we're being bought. Our time is being bought. What made you realize you had to make do with being AP? Was there a tipping point? Yeah, there was a tipping point. The tipping point was when I felt like I lost myself and I looked in the mirror and I didn't realize who I was. I didn't even recognize who I was. Uh, thanks, Shay. I didn't even realize the person I was looking at in the mirror. It made me feel so ashamed and so out of character to be the person that I was. All the meditating, all the studying of being centered was thrown out the window when I was activated into my anxious, preoccupied style. It felt horrible to give something outside of me that amount of power in my life. It was eye opening, but it was necessary because that's when I found purpose. I knew that I had to make other people aware of this possibility, um, and kind of help coach people out of that. Kept give them a little bit of a light in the dark because literally I was in the dark. I couldn't see straight. People around me were telling me things and saying things to me. Thanks, Shay. I appreciate you. Um, Kim and his attachment style, but it's too much. They don't want to die alone, Kim. I know, just they don't. They really don't. It's just that that's the one thing they do realize. They realize that their happiness should not be dependent on anything external. But they take it to the extreme, and it makes them look, like they do want to die alone. But that's not the case. They don't want to die alone. Um, but having to communicate all the time about feelings and emotions and making themselves vulnerable to you to where making wedding plans and all that stuff, it feels too scary for them, and they would much rather get involved with things that is not too permanent. And see, I'm giving all this stuff away. Sorry. See, I tell my financial advisor tells me don't give everything away, Courtney, but I get on here and I give it away anyway. because I just don't care. Like it's like it is what it is. I'm here, you're here. Time is valuable. You're willing to spend your time with me. I'm willing to give you as much value as you can, as I can for your time. Well, maybe it would be easy to live with that. Horrible to say, but they inflict too much pain. Yeah. It takes a lot of patience and understanding and being able to literally almost coach them out of you have to become secure in order to make them more secure, because you will naturally be doing everything right in order for them to want to come more towards you. That came from the deep within. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Um, I'm pretty transparent about my journey because if it wasn't for my journey, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have all this. I wouldn't have, and I wouldn't. Sorry, my mom's calling. I should probably call her back. That's my cue. That 41 minutes is enough for this live session tonight. I'm gonna talk to moms. I love you guys. Thank you again. If you want to send me a donation, I'd appreciate that. Until next time. See you guys later. I love all y'all.